We are now.
No. Okay. Wow, there's like 30 people in here.
There's how many?
30.
You're joking.
I am. 3.
I was like, no, you're joking, Chris. Hang on 1 second.
Two.
Hmm. We're about to start.
It's all right if we talk to ourselves.
Yeah, it is. Okay. So, today's topic is going to be leaving children in hot cars and how dangerous it could be.
You got your things?
Yeah. Had to answer a text. I almost sent the text to you saying that we were live.
Hi, Frank.
Mama Bear.
Frank, you bastard.
So I got all the things.
Hey,
I'm gonna do
Heidi.
the Heidi. Oh damn! I can't do it on this side.
What?
I'm gonna do something. What we talked about the other day about.
She thinks I remember what we talked about the other day.
I don't even remember. God. Hold on 1 second. We're gonna get started. There we go.
Mama Bear wouldn't let me take a nap, so I'm tired.
How are you blaming Mama Bear for it?
Because she told me I'm not allowed to take naps.
Chris, really? Okay. Alright. So I'm gonna do the video first.
Hi, Blaine.
Bling!
Oh, it sounded like you said bing.
Okay. Did that work?
No.
It's Mama Bear Blue?
Huh?
I said it's Mama Bear Blue.
Oh, I don't know.
In chat.
What the hell happened there? know.
Share screen. I'll have to fix it. YouTube. Okay, I can't find the video.
She had everything all organized the other day.
Yeah, and now I can't find it. I don't know where it went. Maybe it's because I put it on private. Oh, man. We had everything set to go to, and now I can't find the video.
Hey, it's your first real live.
Yeah, and it's not turning out very good.
It's okay. Oh. I'm going to mute my son's calling.
Okay, Mama Bear is blue. Okay, Chris. Okay, so we're gonna watch a video real quick that I put together about the dangers of leaving your child in a hot car, and then we have some other facts that we're gonna talk about it, and then after we're done, we're gonna open panel for a little bit and let anybody else who wants to come up and talk about it come up. So can everyone see the print on the video, or okay. There's no sound to it. It's just a bunch of slides that I put together with statistics of how many what happened. Hey, Purple. Yeah.
I'm back.
You're back. We're finishing up the video. Texas, California, and Florida have had the most
Oh, wow.
since 1990.
Ooh, 129.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So that was the video.
I really can't believe they overturned that guy's ruling.
Yeah, I don't think that was right.
That guy in Texas, what was it, Texas?
No,
Oh,
Georgia.
Georgia.
That was Georgia.
A couple years ago, who left
Up
the
there,
baby in the car?
up there near Atlanta.
Yeah, while he was working and looking up porn and stuff. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I said the word. They're overturning his sentence.
Yep. Love it.
11.
So, did you have any stuff to share, Chris?
Oh, wait, it was up there. Duh.
Or will it let you share screen?
Well, it went in yesterday.
Oh.
There's a technical term for people who forget their baby in the car.
Yeah, hang on. I'm about to pull that up.
This aggravated me. Instead of calling them idiots. How about that, Mama?
Here we go. I'm pulling it up now. Is it sharing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the technical term is forgotten baby syndrome.
Yep.
What does Cattle King have me blocked? Because I don't see him.
Is he in here?
Everybody's saying hi to him.
Oh, there he is. He's in here.
Oh, I seen him.
Buckeye Mom is in here. Yep.
So I'll read the first thing.
Okay.
Forgotten baby syndrome is a term most parents have hopefully never heard. It refers to accidentally leaving a baby or a young child in a locked car, often with tragic results. Like, who forgets their kid? I don't get it.
Me neither. Yes, it's a real thing.
I have a 2022 car, and when I turn my car off, there's this loud dinging, and your eyes just automatically go to the dashboard, and it says, check rear of car. Like, I understand
Yep.
it's for safety, but I just don't understand who's stupid enough to forget their kid.
Yeah. It. I mean, sometimes you could be in a rush and accidents happen, but
I'm from New York. I'm always in a rush. I never forgot my kids in the car.
okay. Unfortunately, each year in the U.S., families experience FBS when their child dies after being left in the heat of a parked car. In fact, in 2019, there were 52 child deaths due to heat stroke in cars. This is more than 200% increase compared to 2015. How can this happen? Were these parents intoxicated, mentally ill, or just grossly neglected or neglect? Chris, you want to read the next part?
Oh, I was looking at the numbers.
Well, we can go to the number slide.
Yeah, go ahead.
Talking about from
2020?
2021.
2021.
Yeah. What did it swap over?
No.
What in the world? Hold
High
on.
crime lines and lies.
Hey, crime line. Okay, hang on.
Yeah, I agree, Cattle King.
I gotta reshare the screen.
Now, back in the day, our parents used to purposely leave us in the car so they could run in the store.
Yeah.
But we never died.
No. These are the numbers from 2021.
Okay, so the number 23 spot is where Mama Bear's from, Louisiana. That was a 1-year-old kid. I can't say half these names. Texas, left by a mother, a 1-year-old. Orlando, Florida. Oh, a mother shot and killed in the car. Fayetteville, North Carolina, left by father. See, Amanda, number 18 and 19 confuse me. That's the same kid, no?
I don't know. Unless they were twins.
Yeah. Blythewood, South Carolina, 20 months. East Manchester Township, Pennsylvania. That kid got in on their own.
Yep.
Number 16, Holy Pond, Alabama, 3 years old. Oh, wait, I forgot one. Oh, that PA one was 4. Baton Rouge, 1-year-old. Maple City, Kansas City, got in on own, 2 years old. Springfield, Virginia, left by family member, 5 years old.
Yep.
That place, number 12, got in on own, 3 years old. Number 11, Mesa, Arizona, left by mother, 7 months old. Now, this one I was confused about.
Which one?
Number 10,
Left by caregiver.
11 years old.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it was a special needs child.
It could have been. Or it could have just been an 11-year-old that fell asleep.
Sleeping.
Yeah. And someone left them in the car.
Tyler, Texas, 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Homestead, Florida, left by a caregiver, 2 years old. Ugh. Spartanburg, South Carolina, left by foster mother, 3 years old. Gastonia, North Carolina, 2 years old. Knew some shit, Louisiana, left by parent, 2-year-old. St. Mary's, Ohio, left by parent, 1 year old. Pace, Florida, left in vehicle, 9 months old. Visalia, California, left by mother, 3 years old. Something County, North Carolina, left by mother, 5 months old. And that was the number 1.
And then just a couple of weeks ago, there was one, or actually, I think it was last week or the week before. There was one that was,
Okay, mama.
what happened? No, my screen just went blank. Okay, there it goes. There was, Chris, you were making me laugh. There was one a couple of weeks ago, or I don't remember how long ago it was, but the mom went in to set up for the older kid's birthday party and left the 5-year-old in the car in Texas.
It's ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
People should know by now. Don't leave your kid in the car.
Yeah.
I mean, can anybody see forgetting about your kid?
No.
Exactly, Cattle King.
Yeah.
Could you imagine a neighbor hitting out kids nowadays?
Hang on.
Police will be called. My kids were my life. I knew I always had them with me. And there's a lot of parents who leave their kids in the car when they go to work. But how could you leave your kid in the car for 8 hours?
Yeah, it doesn't make no sense.
Buckeye Mama, that guy in Georgia, they're overturning his sentence.
Yeah.
Exactly, Bling.
Oh, man, I don't have no way to do this.
Yep. They said because the jury was looking at what he did when he was in work, looking at PORN, instead of looking at the case itself. Oh, no. Mama Bear is going to be the sheriff of Hawkins County. They better watch out there.
Okay, Purple. and there was just one in Toronto. Didn't it say Toronto? Or somewhere. I think it said Toronto. Yeah. That left their baby in the car.
When?
It says today.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. It's
Now,
just
Amanda, you know what we forgot to look up? I always heard if there's a child or a dog in a car, you can break the windows.
I did look that up. There is only one state that you're allowed to break the windows in.
What state?
Tennessee.
Well, Tennessee is damn smart.
That is the only state on the website I looked at. That is the only state that you are allowed to bust a window to save a child or a pet.
What?
Yep.
You would think every state would be like that.
You would think that, but
I
they're
don't care.
not.
Take me to jail. Do whatever you have to do. If I see a kid or an animal in the car, I'm breaking their window.
Exactly. Because they don't have to be in there very long. They could be in there a few minutes. Oh, you can? Heidi said you can in Wisconsin, too. Okay. Maybe the website I looked at wasn't up to date.
No, I just looked. It says the same thing. Tennessee is the only one.
Oh, Heidi said you can in Wisconsin, in her state. Oh, yeah, but you have to call 911 also, yeah.
Wait, hold on. This thing is saying California now. Hold up. Let's see.
Oh, no, 8 states. I just found an updated thing.
Okay.
California, Colorado, Indiana, Massachusetts, Wisconsin, Florida, Ohio, and Tennessee have a Good Samaritan law that allows any person to break a car window to save a pet or child.
I don't know. I think it should be every state.
Yeah. It should be every state because it happens in every state. And sometimes it gets really, really hot in a lot of the states. Actually, in any state, it gets really hot. Hey, Lori. Hey, Dinah.
Lori should know a lot about this.
Yeah, Lori should. How can I drop a thingy? I don't have my mouse. Hang on. I want to drop a link, but I don't. Will it let you do it on your side, Chris? Yay, it lets you. So if anyone wants to come up, they can. Okay, Purple. Lori. Okay.
Hey guys. I hope
right,
you
Lori.
can.
Tell us what you know.
Well, okay,
Yeah,
I just
know a
came
lot
in.
about this.
Sorry.
It's fine.
So we're talking about kids that are left in the hot cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a tragedy.
Did you ever see any in Florida?
I never
Florida's a
had the
red state.
call. Yeah, I never had the call, but I have heard just horror stories of parents that, thankfully, I never ran a call like that. I I saw enough. Um, but a lot of parents, they get into their cars, and I don't think there's any intent. I think, for the most part, some are negligent, but it's usually like a parent that doesn't have the child that day, and now somebody's got a dentist appointment, or there's a change in plans, and now instead of dad taking the child to work, mom's taking the child before work, vice versa, and they do their morning routine. You know how sometimes when we get into a car and we can drive and we're almost like, how did I get here? Because you
Uh-huh.
zone.
Yep.
That's what it seems like what's going on, they're doing. And the kids, they'll get out, the kids don't make a peep, they're maybe sleeping with a bottle, and lock the car, go in, start working, and don't come out until 5 o'clock. And that's 8 hours. And the temperatures can get to 120 degrees in the car.
Hmm.
The baby is suffocating and baking, basically, is dying a very horrible death because they forgot.
Well, see,
There's
I
also
think
been cases that they personally have been negligent, where they've left the kids in the car to go into shop,
hmm
and
Yep.
and the kid has been deceased. And that it doesn't take very long, actually. It doesn't take a long time, especially the smaller the child, the less surface area they are, so they go into shock pretty rapidly. And
Yeah.
then the decompensated shock is very shortly thereafter, and once they hit that, they're pretty much gone.
Yeah.
See, and that's where it takes a village. If
Yep.
they're in school or daycare, they should contact the parent if the child's not there by the normal time that they're there, just to say,
Yep.
hey,
Yep.
is everything okay?
Yep. I agree 100%. They're starting to try to work with because there have been a lot of cases that it's not the parents, they're gutted afterwards. I mean, these parents are like, oh my God, I forgot. Like, and you don't think you can, but the hustle and bustle of the morning, and stuff going on in your life, and you're thinking of getting to work, and you have to drop the cleaners off, and you have to go, the car needs to be fixed now, and you and your wife just had a fight, and shit, that
Hmm.
they just drive to work and forgot they had the baby today, and they're gutted. They have to live with knowing that they killed their child because they forgot. It's a horrible, horrible thing. And they're trying to now set some kind of alarm system in the cars.
Yes, I have in my
Yeah.
car.
Do
It
you?
makes a really loud ding. And
Hmm.
when your car dings, what's the first thing you do? You look at the dashboard and
Yep.
it says, check the rear.
Yep. That's perfect. What kind of car is it? Can I ask?
I have a 2022. Oh, what do I have? Equinox.
Okay, cool. That's great to know.
And it's louder than any ding that the car does.
Perfect.
But not everybody has a newer car.
No, I have a 2015 Dodge Durango, and it doesn't do that. I don't have that. Thankfully, for me, being a mom, I didn't go into not that I was a helicopter mom, I knew the dangers. So even if I stopped at a gas station and I had to go in, my 6-month-old and my 2-year-old came inside with me. Even if
Uh-huh.
I could see them from the inside, my 6-month-old and 2-year-old went inside with me. It was just
Yep.
the way I was. Um, I had a routine. It's never happened to me. I can understand it happening because I have been there where I have driven and all the crap of life being on your mind and stuff, and I've like looked up and I'm like, how did I get to work? Like you don't even remember how you got to work. Your
Yes,
mind's so
exactly.
yeah. Yeah, so I could see it. I could see it
And
happening.
it's like, it's scary when you drive in and you realize that you don't know how you got to this point. If you
Right,
even stop at stop signs and stoplights.
right. Yep. Especially when I would get off of 48-hour shifts. Sometimes I
Oh,
didn't sleep at all. That would be a scary time driving home. I'd have to be very careful.
oh my
Running
goodness.
the just hours and hours of calls after call after call, at the busier stations. It could be. Sometimes we would have to stay at the station to sleep before you could even go home because it's lack of sleep is just like DUI.
Oh yeah.
So a really good topic you guys have.
Yep, I'm back. Sorry
It,
about
it
that.
happens. It happens more than we think. And then like young parents, I just heard on the news a couple days ago, a mother went to work and she had nobody to watch her kid. But you have to work to pay your bills because everything is so expensive now that she had to take her kid with her and leave the kid in the car.
I've heard people go, well, I would give the mother more credit for that, but you still can't do that. You can't
Yeah.
leave your kid in the car. I mean, I would, I don't know what I would have done because honestly, that's a sucker punch. What do you do?
Oh yeah.
You have to feed your
Yeah.
child, you have to provide your child, but you don't want your child to be harmed, missing, or anything. But I've heard of
Uh-huh.
parents going into a bar at night and leaving the kids in the
Yes.
car.
No. I've
I mean, me, I would call out and figure out something. I don't know what I would do. I understand that. Um, it's horrible. They can't afford daycare. Daycare eats up most of their paycheck that they bring home. They
Yep.
can't live. I know. It's really rough.
yeah. Yay, Purple's back. But
I don't know because when my kids were growing up, I always stayed home with them because there was no sense in me working. My whole paycheck would go to put two kids in daycare. So I just stayed
yeah.
home with them and taught them myself.
Right.
Let's see, mine are 11 and 12. And sometimes when we go to like Walmart to go get groceries or something, mine do not like to
Oh
go
wow.
in. So they want to sit in the car. And most days I'm like, no, it's too hot out here. Even if you roll the window down, it's still too hot.
Hey, Brandy. Brandy just said sending love, listening at work, just came home out for a break. It's 104 in her car right now. She's up in
Ooh,
Idaho where it's not even like down here in Florida where we have those extreme temperatures, or
Yeah.
Arizona, you know. So you can imagine about 120 degrees easily in those cars, if not more.
yeah,
Yeah.
even at daycares, there's been times that daycare providers have left kids in cars.
And on the
Yeah, there was
bus.
one in a van.
Yeah,
Yep. They didn't count the amount of children they should have counted. They were lackadaisical on it, and the poor baby sat in the van and died.
Being a teacher, my first job out of school was in a daycare. And every time you take a step, you've got to count those kids.
yeah,
Yep,
It is so easy to lose one of them or forget one of them.
absolutely. When you have 25 kids and you have two workers,
Hmm.
I mean,
yep,
sometimes we know as parents, my kids are 2 years apart. So when I had a newborn, I had a 2-year-old. And it went on like that, and trying to take care of the baby and watching the other one while running around. And he also had autism. I, I was having a speech there's no speech, so it was very
Yeah.
difficult. He was expressed how to express what he wanted, his needs. It was rough there for a while until we got him the right therapy. But yeah, I mean, it's so easy to, a little baby, a 6-month-old is tough work, and you add on more kids to that. So that's just 2 kids. So can you imagine, 25 kids for 2 people, but you have to do it. It's so important.
Yeah.
It's your job. I mean, my
Yeah.
job, I had to bring people back from cardiac arrest. I had to push medicines, but was bound to do no harm. So if I
Yeah.
push the wrong medicine, that's on me. And not only is it going to get me in a lot of trouble, I just killed somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you take that job on, you take the job on.
Yeah. And the little ones, it's so hard because they like to explore. So
Mhm.
when you're out on an outing with them, they'll walk away easily.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Runners. Some kids are just runners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's so hard, so easy for kids to go outside and play and just get in the car by themselves if they're
Mhm.
unlocked, and then
You can't
parents don't
find them.
realize that they're gone for 2 or 3 hours.
Yep.
Yep. There was one that drove home, left her kids in the car to visit. It wasn't a home. I think it was to her boyfriend's house. Left the kids in the car and went
Oh,
in
wow.
to smoke dope or whatever she was doing in there. And 2 hours later, babies were gone.
Exactly, Brandy. Even that, you
Yeah,
can't let them out certain times of the day when the sun is the strongest.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's too
They
hot.
dehydrate fast. They don't. And it's fast. It's fast from dehydration to shock to decompensated shock. And once you get into decompensated shock, it's very hard to get that person back. So it's very important. Hydration and keeping them out of that sun.
Yeah, when we were younger, we were in summer camp and we were in the pool, and my sister still went into, she had a heat stroke.
Yeah. Yep. It happens a lot down here. We have a lot of people that have done that down here.
Yeah. I seen one thing on a website. It said first thing to check, first 2 places to check when your kids go missing is your pool and your
Mm-hmm.
car,
Yep.
even the trunk.
Yep. Correct.
Because they could get in the trunk,
Get it
even if,
locked.
yeah, I mean, if they figure out how to get that back seat down in most vehicles, you just pull the back seat down and go to the trunk.
I had a
Yeah.
poor partner that was on shift with. We were on the same shift. We were on B shift together. There was A, B, and C shifts, and we rotated 24 hours on, 48-hour off like that. So it'd go A, B, C, and she was in the town we worked in. I was a little more east. She was a little bit more to the central, and she ran, like, I think in her career when I left, which was over 10 years, was I think she had 5 baby drownings, kids
Wow.
from 0 to 3 or 4 drowned. Some they
Wow.
got back, and then we were running calls on them because they were a vegetable, but they were alive. Some we couldn't get back. So that was very important to me to have, living in places where you're surrounded by water. Of course, Florida, we're a peninsula, So as soon as my kids were able to, we had swim lessons, and they were swimming by the time that they were 2 and 3 because of that reason. If you have a
Yeah, we could've-
pool, I mean, so many. There was one call we had where she ran it. She was on this call, and it was a grandmother watching two cousins. They were cousins, and they were like 1 and 2. She went to the bathroom, came out, couldn't find them, finally went to the pool. Guess where they were?
Oh,
Yeah.
Amanda.
That's a good idea, Randy.
I
Checking
see.
under trampolines because they're put in the ground there, that they would sneak underneath it.
I love the idea of the trampolines in the ground.
I think it's so much safer that way. There's a lot of trampoline accidents.
Yeah. If they're a trampoline in ground seems like a lot safer than
We had this is a crazy story. My daughter got a trampoline, like a hexagon looking one. It was a lot smaller in scale, but it was for their birthday or Christmas or something. And my ex had it on the patio, which was a concrete. And my son, my middle guy, was in the middle, like inside, and it had a net around it, thinking, okay, the net's going to be safe for them. They won't fall out. Well, my daughter, who was only a year and a half, decided she was going to get up and walk around the outside of it while my son was on the inside. And I told her, no, get down. Well, turned my head for a second. She was determined to get back up there. She got back up there. My son put his hand out, and not meaning to, he pushed her. And it wasn't that far off the ground. She fell right back. And she wasn't acting right afterwards. She was barely crying. She just wasn't, I knew her, and she wasn't acting right. I put her in the car, and I started driving to the hospital. And right as I was passing my East Station 104, she threw up and went to sleep. And I just drove right in there, ran the back of the rescue truck, and we took off to the hospital with a trauma alert. Thank God it was just a concussion. But
Oh, wow.
yeah, it happened so quick. And there was 6 of us. We're all working firefighter paramedics in the back in the porch, and it happened right in front of us all.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, telling you something. Yeah, how fast stuff like that occurs.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Maybe you deserved it, Cattle King.
Oh my God, guys, gotta listen to this one. I was only boy and had 9 sisters. Them little shits tried killing me, tied me to mom's car when she left for work. Boy, I got my ass beat for trying to ski behind the car. Oh my God. Oh, I couldn't imagine my kids did that. Oh.
I could see my son doing that.
Yeah, right? You have those kids that you're like, uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how you guys been? Chris, I haven't seen you, and it seems like forever. Like I see you around popping in here and there, but I just haven't talked to you in a long time. And you too, Amanda. Like I see you popping in here and there, but I don't really get to talk to you guys that much. How are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Well, now my kid's here, I'm going nuts.
Are you?
So I've been painting everything.
I've been keeping myself busy. My kids are camping too. They're in South Dakota right now. So close to Bling.
Oh.
Yeah. So they're doing that. It's gonna be a long time that they're going to California and everything. So I'm just keeping myself busy with YouTube and doing stuff. I got to start my own channel soon too here. So I want to do that before they come back. So I understand how you feel though. You miss them.
Chris, can you drop the link again? For some reason, it's not letting me do it. I don't know.
Let's see.
There it goes. So yeah, if anyone wants to come up, they can.
My son's father took him driving for the first time today.
Oh.
How did it
that
go?
He FaceTimed me and he's like, "Look at this." And he showed me his parking job. He's like, "I
Yeah.
park better than you." His
What?
father said he did really good, but the kid has 2 left feet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well,
he can't chew gum and walk at the same time.
oh no. I'm
So I
worried
was
about
scared.
my middle guy, and he's got the autism. He can days, so I'm a little bit worried about him. My
Yeah.
daughter, she's been driving. She tried to drive the golf cart at 18 months, and she knew where the pedal was. So I mean, she's been driving her 4x4 for ages. So her, I'm not worried about. My oldest actually got into an accident with his father at 15. He ended up being a trauma alert. Thank God they
Oh,
trauma
wow.
alerted him. He had a lacerated spleen. So he's like PTSD. He doesn't want to drive.
Uh-huh.
So,
That's my
you
daughter.
know, yeah,
She
yeah.
wasn't in a car accident, but 2 years ago, her 19-year-old sister was killed in a car accident.
You told me. I heard
So
about that.
she
Yes.
could drive.
Yep, I understand it. It's devastating. Oh, how horrible. So young.
Yeah.
Too young.
Yep. I just read up on that one from Georgia that left the little boy in the car and it got overturned. Here's what they said. Georgia Supreme Court ruled that excessive evidence of Justin Ross Harris' activities was extremely and unfairly prejudged and could have affected the jury during his trial in 2016.
Was he trying to get to work just to look at that on his computer or something?
I
No,
don't
he was
know.
looking at it. I think he had it on his phone and he was texting back and forth. I think he was sexting or
Yeah.
texting. Sorry, guys.
He had a lot of other things on his mind.
Yeah, he had other things on his mind on the way to work that morning besides his
Yeah.
child. And they said the
Can't
way he
check his-
acted afterwards wasn't like
Mm,
a frantic parent.
yeah.
Yep, it was in Atlanta, Glenn County.
So I don't know how they can't just cut that part out and he still looks guilty because he wasn't like I would be or a normal parent would be.
Yeah.
So is he going to be retried? I saw a clip of that and didn't read it.
I'm not sure.
Hold on,
It
see
just
if
says
I
that
can-
they overturned the murder. Yeah. The Georgia Supreme Court on Wednesday overturned the father's conviction on murder and other charges nearly 6 years after he was found guilty of having deliberately left his toddler son in a hot car to die.
So he would probably have to go to court again, no? For new charges?
I don't know. I would think so.
No, it looks like he's vindicated.
So they're
Georgia Supreme Court has overturned Georgia's father's murder conviction after he was charged with intentionally leaving his toddler son in a hot car. Ross Harris was found guilty of murdering 22-month-old Cooper Harris in 2016. Harris left his son in the backseat of his car outside his office for hours in 2014, leading to the child's death of hypothermia. They spoke with his parents who say they believe one day soon he will walk free. We cried a lot and we're just over the moon. Let me see if it finds more about the issue. They said they believe from the very beginning that their son Ross did not intentionally leave their grandson Cooper in a hot car to die. I don't think he's innocent. I know he's innocent. I know how much he loved his son and that he's so proud of him. and he thought he was the only man alive who'd ever had a baby, Evelyn said. On Wednesday, Georgia Supreme Court said the evidence of Harris' extramarital relationships, including lewd exchanges with minors, should not have been allowed in his trial. We felt like the court should have separated the charges. And we've been saying that for 8 years, and now the Supreme Court, they agreed exactly with everything we were thinking. I don't know about that. They're saying the Harris family believes a new documentary about the case called Fatal Distraction, which presented a strong defense of Harris, may have impacted the court's decision. But that's negligent. I mean, okay, fatal distraction, but when you're like totally doing that with a minor, you're married, you have your 22-month-old in the back of the car, and you're so distracted with that, you're negligent in leaving your baby, and he died.
And he even Google searched on how long it takes.
Yes, I remember that. Thank you for bringing that back. Yes. I did read this case. It was a long time ago, though.
Where at? It's all good.
Where is it?
In North Carolina.
I agree with you, Heidi. I call bullshit on it, too.
Yeah, so do I.
Right.
Children.
What?
Wow.
Okay, remember.
They should have gotten him with maybe another charge of manslaughter or something like that. Negligent homicide.
Yeah, that's right. He even went out to the car on lunchtime.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's coming back slowly.
Yeah, he went out at lunchtime and sat in the car and apparently did not notice the baby in the back.
He was always probably gone by then, honestly.
Yeah.
There's Caitlin's Law, Unintended Child in a Motor Vehicle Act. It's illegal for a child to be left unintended in a motor vehicle. This is for California. It should be like that everywhere, each state.
Yeah. Like the one in Texas, a couple of days ago, they said the mom took the older daughter inside to set up for her birthday party. And the little boy was left in the car. And he died from heat exhaustion or heat stroke.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't take long, you guys.
No,
not at all. That temperature, nope. And like I said, the smaller they are, the faster it's going to happen. This is California law. It's you're not even allowed to leave your child in the car a minute, and I like that.
So the 5-year-old,
she ran away, and they're only saying she's in danger because of her age.
Oh, wow.
Kids that are running away, they're usually being groomed. So I think I don't know, I would say more in danger. Again, we need to get that alert system.
Yeah.
It really needs to get changed. I don't understand it. Frank, the heat in Texas, Arizona and Florida. I mean, we've had multiple kids left in the cars or in the vans or on the bus down here.
Mm-hmm. California, Texas, and Florida are the ones with the highest rates since 1990.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
June, what's today's date?
27th,
this was
Today's
June
today.
27th.
27th.
This was today. Police said the boy wandered away from his family while they were asleep. A teacher recognized his photo, and called the Alabama police, and the boy was safely reunited with his family. But
She's talking about a girl.
a young child was found alone at a Leeds convenience store late Sunday night, and they found him this morning.
Mm.
He was left in a convenience store?
Yeah, because he wandered out of the house while the parents were sleeping.
Oh, jeez. Just
Checking
recently, I'm that
agree.
bitch mama bear. Oh, I agree. Checking conventions. I can see there was one parent, she was a principal for a school and she did it. First day of school and forgot she had the baby. Drove into work, parked the car in front of the school. It was like an elementary school or something. Went in, went out at 3 or 4 o'clock when school was out, and there was her baby. And talking to her, she was broken. She was broken. But I agree. Like I can't imagine ever leaving my child behind. Like I know I have my child with me every time I go, but I mean, I think they were trying to get charges on her, and I don't know if they actually got charges or they dropped it, but she was broken. It was, we got to slow down. We got that rush, the stress. We got to do this, we got to do that. All the things that, are important, but not the most important. Like if she just slowed down that morning, if she didn't really care that it was the first day of school, like there's so many ifs.
Yeah. And like I seen a news article on the one in Florida that happened last week. The father of the child is saying that he doesn't believe the mother should face charges.
Yeah. I mean, there definitely not an intentional, but there is a negligence. I mean, it's a human being.
Yeah.
It's your child, So there's part of that you have to kind of. I honestly think though, a parent that was totally, they did what we said, like sometimes we do, we drive, we forget where we're going, we get out of the car, but they went a step ahead and just totally forgot that they had the baby that day. They had the baby that morning. They don't usually have the baby. It was the first day of school. The baby was sleeping and they got out and went into work and they come out and they're devastated. Like that nightmare, they will live for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
They will live knowing that because they forgot their baby's gone.
You're right, checking convictions.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
I'll be right back.
Okay. And then it says, is this showing up?
Yeah, create a reminder to check the back seat. Put something you'll need, like your cell phone, handbag, employee ID, briefcase, etc. in the back seat. The thing is, though, if you got, come on, guys. You got your baby back there. That's more important than your cell phone. That's more important than your damn briefcase, Keep a large stuffed animal. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You read it.
You can go ahead.
Okay. Keep a large stuffed animal in the child's car seat when the child is placed in the car seat. Put the stuffed animal in the front passenger seat. It's a visual reminder that the child is in the back seat. Keep car keys and remote openers out of reach of children. Use technology. Apps like Waze have children reminders when you arrive at a destination you used a phone-based GPS to get to. If you see a child alone in a vehicle, get involved. Call 911 immediately. If the child seems hot or sick, get them out of the vehicle as quickly as possible. Yeah, don't wait for anybody to arrive. Get them out. Place a visual cue in the front passenger seat to show that the child is with you. Never leave a child unattended in a vehicle. Make it a routine or a habit of checking the back door every time you park. To enforce this, place an item you can't start your day without in the back seat. Keep vehicles locked at all times, especially in park. Never leave keys within the reach of children. Yep. Like you were saying, kids get in the car.
And then this one.
I can't do without
As-
my children. I'll put them in the back
Right.
seat.
Right. Exactly. Ask your child care provider to call you right away if your child hasn't arrived as scheduled. Absolutely.
And
Like,
that
that
was
should
the
be
last
like in
one.
place everywhere.
Yeah. Like, most of the time, you don't need your phone anyway while you're driving, technically.
No, but when you get out, you know, I can see, you know, we're stuck to our phones. And maybe that's why, because guys, it's happening
is
so much
true.
more. This isn't
Yeah.
happening, I mean, maybe once in a while in rare instances, but this is happening like especially in the summer, we're hearing it like daily of somebody leaving their child in a car,
Mhm.
you know, so we got to slow down.
I mean,
think.
checking convictions. Checking convictions. Isn't that sad that a phone means more than the child in the back seat? That you got to put your phone back there to remember your kid is back there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have a
it is
picture.
sad.
My home screen on my phone is my kids. So the second I pick up my phone, I'm like, oh, my kids.
Yep, me too. Me and the kids.
Hmm.
All three of us. Yeah.
Like, I really don't see how some parents can forget that their kids are back there, especially when they're like toddlers and stuff, because most of the time, toddlers and babies are usually really loud in the back seat.
My kids always slept. As soon as the car started moving, they would.
Oh,
fall right
yeah.
down. Yeah, exactly. Checking convictions.
Yeah, they were just at,
Yeah, because couldn't stay off his phone doing what he was doing.
I forgot what restaurant they were at right before
Yeah, they went
he
through the
went to
drive-through.
work. No, they were inside the restaurant.
Oh,
They have them have the
that's
father and
right. I
son on
remember that
video
picture.
inside the restaurant. I want to say it was Chick-fil-A, but I'm not sure. It may not have been Chick-fil-A.
But he went out to his car at lunch to put light bulbs in there.
Yeah.
Like he remembered light bulbs, but not his darn 22-month-old precious baby.
Yeah.
And his car seat was forward facing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't agree with that particular case. I mean, I think he should have gotten something because I mean, he was negligent all around and he was doing something, one that no citizen should be doing anyway.
Yeah.
Especially a
even get
married man,
charges
but
for
any
that?
man, not that I'm aware of. Not
I
that I
don't think so.
read. He should have gotten charged for that.
Yeah.
Being in a relationship and doing that stuff with an underage child.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
But okay. So there was this guy that used to live in my complex. He was 30 something, I think 36, and his girlfriend was 14. So me and my son's father, we turned it in. We called the cops and told them, and they said they couldn't do anything because she was of legal age to consent. 14? No. Well, on Friday, my sister sent me an article from our local paper. He was arrested for being involved in a child PON ring, and he actually took, I think it was like a 12 or 13-year-old, and groomed them for BDSM to take pictures and stuff.
Wow.
If they would have acted on it, would I said something?
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah.
Good night. It's all good. If we don't see you later on at Purple's, have a great night.
Yeah, I think Purple's going on at 8 o'clock Central
Yeah, 9 my time. Yep.
to do Monkey Mondays. And then she has a live set for Mean Girls
Afterwards, yeah.
for 10, I think.
Either 10
Somewhere
or
in
11. Yeah.
I'll probably be sleeping by then.
I know you're an earlier one. You usually don't hold out on our late nights.
No, I've been staying up late lately, but I just don't
Yeah.
feel good today. My allergies are bad.
Oh. Mine are too. We were just discussing that. I went up on panel and I was like, felt like I was gonna like choke from the postnasal. You know, where you get that like tickle in your throat and you can't like not cough and like choke. Yeah. I didn't have allergies until I was pregnant with my my second son with Braden. And I remember having such bad sinus headaches and stuffiness. Like it was horrible. And I went to my OBGYN and I talked to her about it. And she's like, oh, you have allergies. Why didn't you tell me you had allergies? I'm like, because I didn't. She's like, interesting. So your bodies do change a lot when you're pregnant. It's weird what it does. And I've had them since.
Yeah, I lived in New York, never once had any kind of allergy. Moved to South Carolina, I'm allergic to everything.
It's crazy, right? Have you ever had one of those I have one of those allergy testings where they prick you? Have you ever had that?
No, my son did.
Did they find out a lot of things?
17 different allergies.
Jeez.
All environmental, none food.
Okay. Yeah, mine are environmental too. Hey, Glitz and Glam Chicks. How you doing, honey? Yeah, I had I'm allergic to dogs, cats, feathers. So pretty much all animals, but I have a dog and a cat. And I just deal with it.
Yeah.
The only food was kidney beans, which I don't like anyway, so hey. And environmental, like all molds, all grass, all weeds, you know, pretty much I should be in a bubble, I think, because
Yeah, him too.
how can you avoid all that stuff, right?
He's all grass, all trees, cockroach poop.
Yes, I was that one too. I'm like, good.
I don't want to go near it anyway.
I'm not allergic to it. Yeah. I hate those things. Oh, God. And we have the flying ones down here.
Yes.
Palmetto bugs. Oh my God. I had one fly
things.
in the house and on me one day. And I don't know how I didn't have a heart attack, you guys. Oh my God. I thought I was going to die. I think Michael Myers could have been standing there in the door and I would have had less of a heart attack than I did with that flying cockroach. Oh my God.
I can't believe she's allergic to the sun. I wouldn't be able to live.
Who's allergic to this? Oh, checking convictions. Oh, rash all over. Ooh, that stinks. Hopefully, with lupus, that happens too. That once you get out in the sun, you get really bad rashes. You got to be careful with lupus. She had her second baby. She got it. Yep. See
Them
how
damn
your
middle
body
kids.
changes.
I'm
Yeah,
sitting here
that's the
talking
middle
and I was
kids.
muted. I pulled a purple, y'all.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sitting here talking and I was muted.
That stinks. What were you gonna say? Tell us what you said.
I don't remember. That's the bad thing. I don't remember.
Mm,
Because I muted to tell the boys to quiet down because they're so loud.
They are.
yeah.
And then plus, people shoot fireworks. Around here where I live, like for the 4th, they start in June shooting
Yes.
fireworks.
I hear you, girl. They do it with me too. My poor dog is afraid of fireworks, loud sounds, thunder, all that. So we have to prepare like a week in advance and a week afterwards with the fireworks.
Yes. Since they start fireworks
Hey,
early.
purple, honey. Yeah. Hey, same
Yeah,
shit.
when I know, obviously I know when they're going to do fireworks, but right before, like if it looks like it's going to rain, I have to give my dog CBD oil.
Yeah, to calm. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, mine gets freaky. Starts acting weird and jumping on me and pacing. And it's bright out, so I'm like, what? We just went out 3 times. You've eaten, it's like having a baby. You start going down the line. And
Bling.
it just happened to me the other day. I was talking to Heidi and I'm like,
Yeah, I
what the
remember.
heck? Yeah. And yes, yep, it was like about 15-20 minutes later, huge storm rolled in. Had a pretty bad storm. Bling. Bling said, oh, hey, purple, we weren't talking about you.
Oh, man. I actually have my shirt on, my Mean Girls shirt, my new one.
Oh, really? Chris, you have done amazing. Like Frank's shirt that you made for him was awesome. Like you are
Oh,
so
I love his
talented, girl.
shirt.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to get that one too. I want to get like other ones. Gonna go broke on Mean Girls merch.
Oh, I steal all Amanda's money.
Yeah, you do.
And then
That's
she
the
texts me.
truth.
She texts me and she's like, "Can you make this? Can you make this?" So I make it.
I want like the one that you made for Brandy. The one I'm gonna see if you can do it, and then when I get paid, I'm gonna go ahead and
With
do
monkey
it.
on the
But
back.
with a monkey on the back, yeah, I really want
Yeah,
that.
and Amanda had the idea of putting a pin with the picture of Michael in it.
Yeah, that's a great
And I put the
idea.
phone number for the Fruitland Police Department. That and a keychain I made, and I'm gonna put
Yeah.
them in every order.
Oh, I love that idea. That's awesome of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandy was talking today, in fact, on about fruit they're doing these ID cards with the Chiron Foundation, where they're
Mm.
like, looks like a driver's license, the size laminated, but has your kid's name, all the information that they need in case your child goes missing, the fingerprints, a recent picture, their information. So like if your kid goes missing one day, you can grab your purse and say, here,
Yeah, we have
I
that here,
love
but
that
you have to
idea.
pay for it.
You have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Is it expensive?
I think it was like $25 a kid.
I think it would be a lot if they could get that free. I don't know what the Karen for. I think it's free through them. We'd have to ask her, but she didn't mention any money. I mean, if they would, I would do like a small donation if I could, or if you're
Yeah.
really strapped, then yeah, like depending on your income, I guess it should be. But Heidi wants one with monkey on it too.
Mhm.
I was watching this movie last night called The Way Home. Oh my god, it's so sad.
What's it about?
It's about this little boy that goes missing. And it took them 8 hours to find him. They found him in the woods with his dog.
Is it a true story?
Yeah, it's based on a true story out of Georgia.
Wow.
Have you
God,
ever
they
seen
found
like
him.
Fireproof and Courageous?
No.
No.
Okay, well, them are good movies too.
Okay.
And they're all based on true stories.
Have you ever watched the Missing 411 thing?
No.
Oh, you got to watch them on YouTube. Wow.
No, Purple's comment.
Oh. I was like,
I
I
have
didn't
to
see it.
answer my daughter real quick, guys. I'll be
Okay.
muted.
Oh, neither.
What?
That noise.
Oh, my bad. It was
Yeah.
my cup. It was the ice rattling in my cup. I'll have to watch that one. The Missing 411.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up.
She calls me and says, I texted you. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, I know I texted you back. She's like, okay, bye. Hangs up on me. Gosh. What do we do without texting? The Missing 411 is pretty interesting. Oh, I have to see that.
Oh, yeah.
Heidi saw it too.
I'm going to have
I
to
gotta write
watch
these
it.
down. There was one I saw, I can't remember the name. I think it was just like Missing, but it was in the 80s and it was with Dudley Moore. And it was a pretty popular actress. I just can't think of her name right now. And it was about a divorced couple, and it was almost like what occurred with Adam Walsh going missing.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
he was taken, and the frantic, her life and his life going through it and them coming together, and thankfully they found the little boy, but it wasn't based on a true story, but it was really good. I used to love that movie when I was little.
Amanda.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A little
I've
loud.
seen it. I was looking for
I'm
the name of
here.
the movie. I was looking for the name of the movie, but I just seen it. Is it a newer one?
Which one? The Way Home?
Yeah.
It's from, hang on, I'll look.
2009.
I pulled the wrong headphone out of my ear.
I thought you said I pulled my wrong hip bone out.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, this is the one. I got it.
It's a 2010 film.
The missing 401. I gotta write these down because I forget them. Hold on,
I
I'm
know.
gonna do
The
that
other day,
right
my
now.
sister told me a movie to watch, series to watch, and I had to text it to myself.
Can you guys say the other names too? Sorry, Chris.
Fireproof.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Okay.
There's Fireproof, there's Courageous, there's one called War Room.
I saw
They're
War
all
Room. That's good.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fireproof, Courageous, and I think The Way Home, it's by the same people.
The Way Home. Okay.
Yeah. And then there's Miracles from Heaven. There's a lot of good movies. Like if you just type in War Room, it should bring up the rest of the movies that's by that
Okay.
have the same pretty much the same people in it, and they are all
I liked
good.
The War Room. Yeah, I really liked that movie.
Yeah, War Room was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
And then there's like Chasing Faith, and then there's I can't remember the other one. There's one about a football team.
You got to watch on Netflix The Trials of Gabrielle Fernandez.
Mm.
It's about the messed up system, this CPS system.
That needs to be brought more to light. We're in big trouble, guys.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, number one, in order to fix it, YouTubers have got to stop calling in fake reports.
Absolutely. It's not just YouTubers. People do it in real life too. Like people that aren't on the internet, next door neighbor gets pissed off at her friend, and now CPS is coming, and it's nothing. It's for revenge. It has nothing to do with.
Or anyone gets mad at you, they call them over anything, and it's ridiculous.
My stepson's brother had was called his ex-girlfriend. She found out he was talking to another female, even though he wasn't cheating on her. There was a time they were split apart. Anyway, it was stupid. But she got so mad when she found out that she ended up calling CPS on him.
Yeah.
And his child would have been taken away. And he was a good dad. Like, to put the child in the system and go through all that. She was close to Tyler. And to put him through that, going into the system, God only knows what family he would get.
Yeah.
It's a lottery. You can get a really great family, or you get one that abuses the kid horribly.
Yeah.
Sometimes worse than what was happening to them at the home.
I just seen online that they're making a Gabby Petito story movie.
Oh, bye, King Peyton.
Bye. Have a good night. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I can't believe they're doing a movie on Gabby.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They said that's going to be released this year.
Oh, wow.
Did you guys read the note?
Yeah. I didn't. I
did.
read a little bit of it, but
you need to read it.
I read a little bit of it, and then I went back to go read some more, and I couldn't find it.
It's
well, see, back to the CPS thing. I called CPS on my sister 5 times because she was on drugs. She was beating her older son. Nobody would listen to us. They would come out, look at the house, and leave.
Mm.
They wouldn't drug
Yep.
test her. Twice I called an ambulance for her. She went to the hospital and all these drugs came up in her system and nothing. It took
Yep.
her son being 15. She took a shirt and wrapped it around his neck and was choking him
Oh,
for them
wow.
to take the two kids away for 3 months.
For only 3 months. I mean,
Yep.
can you imagine doing that one to any child? Oh my God.
So it's like when people really need it, they do nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
My ex is emotionally abusive to the kids, and especially he'll get back at me. He'll punish the kids, so it kills me. You know, because
Ugh.
he used to punish me. I used to get punishments, but since he couldn't get to
Mm.
me anymore, now the kids would get punishments. And I mean, they would get like work punishments. They would get things taken away. He would yell at them, get in their face, and he's 6'3", he's intimidating looking
Uh-huh.
to a small child, and especially my daughter, a girl. And
Yeah.
if they told me what he was doing, they would get in trouble, um, because I wouldn't stand for it,
Yeah.
and I was so afraid of him myself. I fear this guy, but when it comes to your kids, you act out like the mama bear. You don't, it's nothing about you anymore. It's to
Yeah.
protect your kids.
It's like, go ahead, beat
And
me. Leave my kids alone, though.
Yeah.
yeah, the only thing they could suggest is uh psychology, counseling, and he refused to go. And it wasn't even mandated. Like, they can take your kid
Oh my
away, but they
goodness.
can't mandate counseling
Yeah.
for emotional psychological abuse. And he would put their hands on him too, but it was, the intimidation factors more of
Uh-huh.
actual hitting.
Yep.
He never laid a hand on me, but he came like an inch away from my face, punching a hole in the wall. Nothing that I did wrong. Just things like that. It was pretty bad. And if you think they stop when you leave, nope, they get worse. And
Really?
yeah, it got worse when I left. I was like, oh my God, I thought it was going to solve it. I had no idea. I never had history of that. I never met a person like him before. I never met somebody so cruel and intimidating that I
Yeah.
was actually afraid of a person. And yeah.
My son's father, not my son, my daughter's father, when he asked me to marry him, I was sitting on the floor in his bedroom and I had really long hair and it was up in a ponytail. He grabbed my ponytail and yanked me up off the floor and said, "Will you?" My dumbass looked at him and said, "Yeah." But when my daughter was a year old, I was like, I can't let her live like this. I can't let her see this and think it's
Yeah.
okay.
No.
So we moved
No.
from New York to South Carolina so he couldn't see her.
Yeah. You got to do what you got to do, and you protect the
Mhm.
babies, whatever you got to do.
Yep.
Yep.
It was one that made it hardest for me to leave because we had the kids together. And it also, like, the best way to deal with them is gray rock. You don't have contact, you cut everything off. And when you
Mhm.
share kids, you can't do that. Legally, you can't do that.
Yep.
So it's really hard when you share kids and you have to leave somebody like that. And the courts, they want 50-50 no matter what, which would be okay if the person wasn't a monster. You
Yeah.
having the person be a monster and a monster to your kids, it's pretty rough. But
Yeah.
I stand up to them a lot now. I give them consequences now. I
Good.
don't react with emotion anymore, and it's huge, to learn about how to deal with narcissistic abuse. And
Mhm.
I learned more actually on YouTube about it, watching psychologists talk about it, red flags, how
I did the same
how to
thing.
deal with a narcissist. Yes. And you learn a lot, right, Chris?
Yep.
You really do.
Oh, yeah.
What is your channel going to be about, Lori?
Actually, it was going to be. I want to touch on that. I want to touch on. I like every when I was in a lot of chats, and when DV came up, there was a lot of people that like girls would just be like, "It happened to me. I was abused too." I mean, I was just seeing. I was like, "Oh my God," you know. And I remember when it was happening to me, there was nobody to talk about. Like the friends that I had, I couldn't talk about it at the fire department.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be tough and, you know, and they'd be like, you're dealing with that. You know, even running calls, I would run calls where these girls would be beat up and I would sit there and give them the lecture. You have to leave. You have to leave. And next time he's going to kill you. I would, you know, do the whole thing and not understand why they wouldn't leave. And then when I went through it myself, I understood the mental torture that goes with it and the connection and breaking off the connection and how hard it is to leave. One, how dangerous it is when you leave and how staying gone, you know, they go through the love bombing, the cycles that you didn't even know you were going through with them during the whole relationship. So I really want to talk about that. And I wanted to also make it a place where people can come and talk freely or find information out. I think a huge thing is telling our kids what red flags are, not only for
Yes.
the girls, but for the boys, because men are getting abused too by
Yep.
narcissistic abuse. And so that was that I wanted to do. And then of course the missing children, because it's, you know, and I do like true crime too, so not just the missing kids, but a kind of like a combination of, and the hangout spot too, like maybe on like one night, you know, when nobody's on, like we want to hang out, like do a hangout time. So
Yeah. I think that's a good idea because a lot of, like when you're with somebody like that, you really, I mean, you know they're evil and they're mean, but you don't know the full extent of it. And I didn't know how to leave until I had the opportunity was put in front of me.
right, and it's
Because he just
so
always made me
hard.
think. He always made me
Yeah,
think that there was no way I would be able to take care of my daughter with him. I mean, without him, because I wasn't working. I needed him for the money.
yep.
Yeah.
They try to control every aspect of your life. The
Hmm.
only thing I had going for me is I don't know why, but at an early age, I was very independent. I started working when I was 15. Um, I worked 2 jobs, even working at the fire department. I was a spin instructor on the side. I waitressed on the side. I was just always that type of person where I never wanted to rely on a man.
Hmm.
And financially, thank God I did not rely on him, but he got it to the point where he would financially abuse me. He would nickel and dime me. He wanted everything 50-50, and I was okay with that. But when he would spend money, he would like nickel and dime me down to the dime. Like, so if he bought something for the house, I had to pay him 50% to the dime.
What?
Um, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It was, you know, and then of course I left everything behind. I had owned a golf cart, I owned a trailer, travel trailer, you know, that you hook up at the back of the truck. I owned all that stuff with him and I left it all. I was like, nope, I
Because
don't
those
care.
mean
Take
nothing.
it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it got too bad. I
Mm-hmm.
was walking on eggshells. When he would pull up in the driveway, I would cringe. I didn't know what today was going to be about, why I was going to get in trouble today,
Hmm.
um, what I did wrong. Yeah, gaslighting, a lot of that. It is
Yeah.
education. You're right, check and conviction. It's so huge. And that's why I wanted to talk about the educating part, talk about how to deal with them, talking about the gray rock and what that process means. And I didn't even realize that's a lot how I dealt with him. I didn't even realize that I was doing the right thing. But by doing the gray rock, I was able to keep the relationship going for longer. So like my psychologist said that I stayed too long. But that's also, I learned later on, that's also a term of being re-abused. They don't when somebody says you stay too long, they don't really understand the cycle of abuse and the mental aspects of why you become that way, Stockholm syndrome, all those things of
Yeah.
why you're so caught in that cycle.
What is gray rock?
Gray rocking is where you don't show them any emotion. It's like being as boring as a gray rock. How boring is that? You don't
Yeah, I
show
do
any
that with my
emotion.
ex. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. You show no emotion. Give them no supply. You, you know, don't respond to anything that they're saying. If, you have to respond to them, it's facts and it's, pick up the kids here and that's it. If they go further, hang up. My ex would used to come by and say some crazy stuff in my ear. And I remember I just ignored it. And in the back of my head, I was like, what the fuck? But I was like, who is this guy? It was almost like I would feel like my skin get cold and a wave go down and get sick to my stomach. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I would just ignore it. Sometimes I told friends, but sometimes I was so embarrassed. A lot of people don't understand
Mhm.
that, especially to very independent people, and especially to men. And that abuse is embarrassing. I was supposed to be this
Yeah.
tough firefighter chick, and I was, but I was being abused. How could I tell the guys at work? I
Yeah.
had to be tough to the guys at work.
Yeah.
And sometimes girls, being a firefighter, you got to be tougher than the men because you need to prove something. They want you to prove it because they already don't think you can do the job.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
lucky he let you work though.
well, that's what I find out. It's a lot harder to escape because they do try to control that too.
Hmm. Yeah.
But he had the love of money was so much that that's one aspect he didn't try to take away from me. And because he, you know, again, he just loved money. But it was actually what made me leave. Out of everything, I was having problems. I was working at the busiest fire station, even though I had enough time to bid out and go to a lot slower one and have an easier, especially with the kids being 2 and 3 or 1 and 3. It was 1 and 3, and then it was 2 and 4, and it went up like that. And my son was autistic. We found a great Nova Southeastern school for him to go to. It was free, and he would get therapies, he would get speech therapy, he'd get occupational therapy, he'd get ABA, and he would get schooling all at the start of 3 years old. So the start of him turning 3 was the rough part for me because I had to get him into the school, which thankfully was in the same town that I worked in, but I had to take him out of the car. I couldn't bring him in until 7:45. I was due at work till 8. And the fire department, they want you to there early. You're a slacker if you're not there early. And they knew my situation, but still, it's weird in the fire department. It's a lot about proving yourself. And I would have to get him all the way in. They wouldn't take him at the door even. So I had to run him in, run out of I literally ran out into my car and took back roads to get to work to make lineup by 8.
Oh,
And I
wow.
did that for almost 3 years of doing that. And by the 3rd year, I was worn the F out. And
Mhm.
I asked him one day, I was at my wits' end. I'm like, I need help. I just need help. Like, can we get somebody to bring him to school for me, so I can get a bit of a less, busier station so I can get a break. Because usually even you rotate out. So you're never at the really heavy, busy station for more than a year. I had been there now for 3 years. And
Wow.
I would run calls all day, all night home, come home, no sleep for 24 hours. And then he'd be like, all right, taking the kids. And if I said, I need to sleep, I haven't slept, that he would turn around on me, and then I would be abused later for it because he had to watch the kids. So I just started not asking him anymore and just staying up that 36 hours until I was able to finally crash. It was horrible. But that what made me get out is I said, Rich, I'm going to get fired. And he looked up at me and he said, I don't care if you get fired. And I knew at that moment I needed to get out. So it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, ever, with him. I've never met somebody like him, but it taught me a lot about people, about personality disorders, about red flags. My daughter knows more than I had ever known in my life at 11 years old about what the red flags are, what you don't want in life, what you want in a life, So I pray that my daughter won't make the same mistakes. She's going to learn from me. And, she's going to have it so much better than what I did.
Yeah.
Thank you, Checking Convictions. I really appreciate that, honey. See, same shit went through it too.
Yeah, I used to do the same thing she did, just agree with everything they said.
Mm-hmm. I did too. I pulled away from everyone and I felt like I didn't recognize myself. I became this like robot that was just functioning. And everybody was like, you're changing, Laura, you're changing, but nobody could understand. And I was part of the trauma of it. I was just forgetting a lot of stuff that occurred. Or, and all I could say, I couldn't even, being in the abuse, I was like in a fog. And the only thing I could say is he's mean to me. Like sometimes I couldn't even explain what it was. Like with Gabby Petito, how she was trying to explain it to the cops that day. And you end up sounding like you're the one with the issue, or they do that too. Like they'll pick at you and until you break and you lose it.
Yes.
And then as soon as you lose it, they'll be like, ha, see, she's the crazy one. Or ha, see, they're, look what they're doing.
Yep.
Look at their behavior. And they do it in private. They don't do it around people. Like once in a while he'd be an ass in front of our friends and in front of people. But normally it was never. It was always whispered in my ear. It was always kept within the home so nobody could see it. So I had no nobody to witness it. And even when I left, the phone calls and that stuff were horrible. I ended up having to tell him not to contact me, get a lawyer to write him. And the only way he was allowed to contact me was through email. Okay, Purple, we'll see you.
Okay, Purple, we'll be there.
A couple minutes. We'll be there.
About 5 minutes or whenever you start, we'll be there.
Right, Checking Convictions, exactly. So now on this live, I mean, we have that's at least 4 women that have gone through narcissistic abuse. It's all good who's not with us right now, but she's been through it. And it's just like, you wouldn't believe how many people have actually been through this type of abuse. And it's not even, with a relationship. Some people are their parents, their mom, their dad, their sister, their brother, kids. Some parents are like my kid, I don't know what to do with them. They're treating me this way, and they're a narcissist, and I don't know how to deal with it. So that's what I want to do.
I like that idea.
Get my ass in gear.
When are you gonna start your channel?
Oh, that's the magic question. It's gonna be soon. What's the scariest thing for me?
Promote, Lori.
I know. Everybody's like, when are you gonna start? When are you gonna start? I am going to do it. No, I want to practice a couple times, so I just need to get on and just have some some people, like I might have some lives where I'm just like testing it out, like because I
Yeah.
want to be able. If I'm doing a live about a certain topic, I don't want to be struggling with dropping, sharing information, sharing like red flag signs, warning signs, being able to share videos and stuff. I want to be able to do that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm probably
Wow.
going to have a couple where I just open it up and I'm like, all right, guys, bear with me. I want to be able to share the links and share, the StreamYard link and not freak
Yeah.
out while I'm trying to say a
Oh.
serious topic.
Yeah. Well, I think me and Chris are gonna do at least one live a week on different topics.
I'm so sorry, same shit.
So,
She was backhanded 16 times one night because she refused to argue. I couldn't. My daughter was asleep.
oh wow.
Oh, there are monsters.
Hmm.
You were scared of like monsters, like the look of a monster and under your bed when you're a child. It's not that monster. It's humans
Mm-hmm.
that are actually monsters out there, and they're walking
But see, you
around
know
like you
what?
and I.
I still attract them, and I have a mushy heart that I fall for them. That's why I refuse to date anyone.
That's me too, girl. I've been hurt so much that I want a friend. Like if they'll be
Yeah.
friends with me for a while, let me really get to know them,
Yeah.
then yeah. But if
But
they want to jump in a relationship right away, no.
they'll
Nope.
still keep that mask up, and then once you're in a relationship and they have you, they'll change.
Yep, that's what he did. He was my Prince Charming.
Exactly same shit.
Yep. Exactly. They come in all packages and yep.
Yep.
The devil has a beautiful smile.
Yep.
Well, it's 7:58, so I'm guessing we should go ahead and shut this one down.
Thank you for having me up here. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. You can come up anytime.
Okay,
Well, thank you
cool.
for coming up and start your channel because a lot
We'll
of
probably
people-
have a live next Monday. I don't know what we'll talk about yet.
That's okay. We'll figure
have
out
to
something.
figure that one out. But me and Chris talk pretty much every day, so we'll probably figure some topic out.
Okay, I will see you guys
Frank.
over at Purple's in a couple minutes.
Yep.
Bye.
And I don't think we need to drop the link because everybody knows where Purple is.
Yes, we all know her. All right.
All right. Love you guys.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.